The most heart-wrenching ways people discovered they lost their jobs. Showed up to work, and the office doors were chained shut with a notice on the door from the state. Everyone on first shift showed up, and we just stood in the parking lot confused for a bit, then went home. I had a customer that almost met a similar fate. The company had been using a small-time payroll processor. The owner of the payroll outfit was pocketing the withholding money that was supposed to go to the state of New York. New York authorities showed up at my customer's business demanding all the missing money, or they were prepared to padlock the place. My customer had no idea what was going on, but he scrambled to get a cashier's check to pay again what had already been paid. Payroll processing guy skipped town, but he was eventually caught and did jail time. I don't think any money was ever recovered. This whole thread is about personal experiences. But if y'all want to feel better, the worst way I can think of to lose a job is Saddam Hussein showed up to the House of Government one day for a speech and sat in silence for minutes, then started rattling off names, and his personal guard would come in as he said the names and escort those people out. Eventually, people started leaping to their feet and declaring fealty. The names kept coming. After the opposition was all rounded up, they were split into groups, and a select few were handed guns and told if they killed their coworkers, they would live. That's probably the worst way to lose your job in a coup. A guy lost his job at an insulator manufacturing plant in western NY. There was a big layoff, and the cuts were announced on Friday afternoon. He went home and began the process of looking into unemployment payments and polishing up his resume. Later that same day, he received a call that his name was listed by mistake, and he was to return to work on Monday. He did, and was told that the mistake was not a mistake, and they laid him off again. Only thing worse than getting fired on Friday is having to get up Monday morning and come into work just to get fired again. Companies should have to give 2 weeks' notice before they fire you, just like you are supposed to give 2 weeks' notice before you resign. We have that in the UK. The company needs to give you notice, mine's 4 weeks, to lay you off. They can tell you not to come back in, but they still have to pay you for your notice period, plus any accrued holidays you haven't taken. Plus a redundancy payment if you've been there for over 2 years. Showing up to work only to find your badge deactivated and security escorting you. That happened to my wife, but the other way round first. They organized a Teams call and started off with, if you're in this call, your job is safe, so there were 2 Teams calls. Then she was told after she was in the wrong call. Then she was told she was staying. This went on for a week and ended up staying. The latest round of redundancies, people were made laid off below her but didn't actually tell her. That sounds more like 2 people in management disagreed about whether she was staying or not. I was working on a project at a customer site. Big layoff and I was mentioned. Reported to the customer, I was laid off and I am leaving. Hell no, the customer said. A few phone calls were made. We want him back, the customer said. We will send another, my employer said. No good, the customer said. We want him. In the meantime, I learned what customer paid to my company for me. My next contract negotiations were quite pleasant. What customer paid to my company for me? I was working on a project for big telco, got laid off, had to tell customer that I couldn't work with them anymore because of layoff. Customer proceeded to hire me directly. Turns out that customer was paying 4 to 5x my salary for my time. So we negotiated half 2x. They paid me directly half what they'd been paying before, and I was being paid 2x what I'd previously been paid. Win-win for us. My friend worked for Rogers for 25 years. He went on vacation. When he got back, his stuff was in a file box with his name sharpied on it at the entrance door beside the reception desk. That's somewhat happened to me with my tech job. Moved to a new group of about 12 people. Then 9 months later, everyone, including the manager, was laid off except for me and this other guy. We then got transferred to another manager, and then 3 days later, new manager said that he and his group also got laid off, this time including me. This was a tech firm that was preparing to be bought out. Fuck you, hit the road. Ah man, JK, we cool. Psych. Fuck you twice, fool. That happened to me. Except a different situation. I knew there was a hammer coming down on me. I was told the hammer was not happening. I went into work and then was told, "Hey, so I misunderstood the message. You're still getting the hammer. It just had to wait a day because the witness to the process couldn't be here that day." My mom was sorting checks for payroll, and the only time people got two separate checks is for termination. She saw she had a separate check while sorting. I was so sad for her. She'd been there 15 years, and they did her so dirty. Thank you all so much for the kind words. My mom passed away in 2014, and I know she'd appreciate the support. That whole situation she went through stuck with me, and I've thought about corporate life differently since. I appreciate the kind awards. If I ever get terminated, my end will be similar. I am shipping receiving at my job. Term checks always come FedEx Express in a thin envelope. The last two people that got terminated, the envelope came addressed to their respective supervisors. One was for my supervisor. Luckily for me, my coworker was termed. I know the next time I see an envelope like that with my supervisor's name on it, it's gonna be me. I can't believe anyone is still getting actual paper checks in 2026. That seems so quaint. My payslip is emailed, pay deposited electronically, and I'm not aware of any other method in this country except people doing sneaky cash jobs to avoid tax. In California, you basically have to pay an employee the moment you terminate them. Hence the need for a final paper check. I was laid off over the phone on my first day back from medical leave after working somewhere for 14 years and 11 months. So lucky for them, I didn't deserve that respect. When they cleaned out my office to return my things, they kept my 5- and 10-year commemorative employment paperweights. I guess so they could repurpose them. Wow, so 14 years and 11 months. Seriously though, fuck that place for doing you dirty. They moved my desk to the hallway behind a supporting beam. I still did not quit. Then they fired me the next day. Yes, what they did not know was that I was planning on quitting the following month after I took my remaining 2 weeks vacation. So yeah, I lost the paid vacation, but I also was eligible for about 6 months of unemployment that I was able to max out. With no written policy on vacations, I had no way to go after them for it. But I was aware of a few shenanigans the company pulled by selling old service vans and not reporting the income to the IRS, and I was able to turn them in anonymously. Oh, the utter joy of it. Quiet, soothing revenge, the best. Similar. Friend went to work, met the new person, and was asked to show her the ropes using her accounts. They both walked over to the same desk to sit down. Turns out newbie was supposed to have been told to use a temp work area while she learned what my friend did before replacing her. Someone goofed. Unfortunately for my friend, she trained the person for a couple days because her supervisor insisted it was a simple mistake. HR called her that Friday. That reminds me of a similar situation I had. I went to my new job, and there was someone there who had the exact same title and position I was given. Neither one of us really knew how to proceed with our work because there were 2 of us. I took the manager aside and asked what the hell was going on. The long and short of it was that this person was supposed to be let go, and I was to be their replacement. However, this employee saw the posting for their job online and asked management point blank, "Am I being fired?" And management panicked and said, "No, of course not," and kept him. It was very awkward. Corollary to that is booting up your computer and you can't log in. Your supervisor asks you to come to HR with them. I distinctly remember when Tarja Turunen, the first lead singer of Nightwish, got fired. Apparently she finished the band's last concert on that tour, went to bed, and woke up the next day with tons of people trying to get in touch with her. She loaded up the band's website to see that they'd posted an open letter to her, letting her know that she was fired and accusing her of various behaviors. Millions of people found out she was let go before she did. IDK the full details behind that, but it wouldn't surprise me if it did. Tuomas Holopainen is a fucking coward who has done this to 3 band members and needs to recognize that he's the problem, not them.